Every January, a team of T.REX guys pack up and head west. It is a long and grueling journey, requiring planes, trains, and automobiles. Stops in airports with distracting stores. More planes. Some of us have a better attitude about this than others. And finally, we reach the scum and villainy of Vegas itself, where we immediately get lost in giant hotels, get overcharged for terrible drinking water, and join 55,000 other people to enter SHOT Show. Did we come all this way to see the Gen 5 Glock 29? Well, not really. We are here to see products, yes, but more to see the industry in general, to have meetings with our friends and allies, and plan for the future. It's actually more fun than it sounds. And right now, we are at the Supplier Showcase, which in many ways is my favorite part of SHOT Show. Now, it's new. SHOT Show has been going on for a very long time, but the Supplier Showcase, where all of these vendors who do not make or manufacture firearms or things related to the shooting, hunting, outdoor industry, they make the parts for the shooting, hunting, outdoor industry and other things. So we've got people who manufacture metalworking tools, work holding pieces, people who do finishes and coatings, people who make springs, people who make all kinds of different sorts of components and do injection molding and 3D printing. All kinds of stuff like that are here. There are textile companies, there are sewing companies, there are people who make the buckles and things. And what's cool about them being here at SHOT Show is not so much that this is particularly unique. There's lots of manufacturing trade shows, and we at T.REX have been to several of those in the last few years. But what's cool is this is part of the SHOT Show experience. It's not just showing off new tools down at the bottom. There are the tools to make the tools up here. It makes the SHOT Show experience a little bit more of a holistic industry support event as opposed to just a place where you release a new bolt-action rifle. And up here are where there's a lot of fascinating conversations that are kind of shaping where the industry may be going in the future. Especially if you're a small startup company. If you're a big company like Remington or Smith & Wesson, you've been making guns for over a century, you already have your suppliers locked in, you already know how you make the tools, etc. But if you're a small company and you don't know how to solve every new problem for every new idea that you have, this is a fantastic place to start. And there's another component as well. If you were getting into the firearm industry to make parts that go along with that, you're going to get some level of criticism from different places. T.REX Arms does not make or sell firearms, but we're still a gun company in the eyes of a bunch of different suppliers and vendors who don't want to do business with us because of that connection to this industry. But if you come to the SHOT Show Supplier Showcase, you know for a fact that every one of these suppliers, every one of these vendors, every one of these OEM guys, they're cool with the firearm industry enough to be here at SHOT Show. So you're talking to like-minded people who are not going to drop you when they discover that the spring that they're making for you is going into a holster that's also going to contain a terrible gun. There's just a whole bunch of opportunities here to work with other companies, and you can already see from the conversations just today a lot of synergy and a lot of people solving each other's problems and networking. So I'm pretty excited about this place, even though there's going to be a bunch of cool stuff downstairs, obviously, and most of the YouTube videos that talk about SHOT Show will talk about that new bolt-action rifle, that new pistol, that new optic, that new finished product that's being released by an existing company. A lot of the products that are coming from companies that you haven't heard of yet, those are being thought about in this room right now, today. Now, this is not the first Supplier Showcase at SHOT Show. It is the second year that this is going on. And I have to say that last year, I met a bunch of fascinating people, but to be honest, didn't actually begin working with any of them immediately. Now, there's a couple reasons for that. One of them is that there were already 6 or 7 different companies at last year's Supplier Showcase that we were already working with. They were already suppliers or vendors that we were doing business with. And the reason for that is we'd already worked very hard to go out and find specific vendors for specific projects that we were working on. But now that there's been about a year of conversations with people that I did meet randomly, I think we have some more projects coming up. And being able to look around and just see different projects and products at the booths, different ways of solving problems, different ways of making things, it's pretty fascinating, and it sparks a lot of interesting ideas. Now let me give you an example. I have a printing project that I'm thinking about right now. Now, I'm not super excited about this project because the hardest thing we've ever done at T.REX is probably the chameleon targets, and not the fancy 3D software. Printing the targets on the paper was one of the most challenging technical problems that we have had to solve. Now, here at this event is probably not the person that I need to print the next thing that I want to print, but there's a couple of packaging companies, there's a couple of people that make tags, there's people that make the tags that get sewn into some of our nylon things over there, and these are great leads for me as I ask them about the sort of printing that I want to do, which we're not going to talk about here. They will know the people who can actually solve this problem for me, and I can start the conversation here face to face in a like-minded, friendly venue, and it's much better than just calling folks out of the blue. And I know that all around me in this venue are people having those same kind of conversations about where to find this material, where to get this thing coated, how to get the right springs, or people who have crazy ideas that they don't know how to even get started. They don't even know how to begin the conversation, but they're going to find themselves at a booth where the imagination gets sparked. They see a printed tag on a waterproof material. It gets their wheels turning, and now they know roughly where to start asking the questions about making the thing that they actually want to make. I'm sorry that this video is so disjointed. The reason is I keep going around to different places and shooting bits of this video and then getting distracted by really cool conversations with really cool people. I have taken some interesting notes. I've seen some things at this Supplier Showcase that I'm not going to mention in this video, but they are going to be in future videos. And future videos also where we're going to talk more about T.REX Labs. There's no time in this one because there's some stuff that I have to do before the show closes. And so now you probably have some idea why I think that the Supplier Showcase is so cool and such an important part of SHOT Show moving into the future. Yes, it's not going to get as much media attention. There aren't any products here in this particular convention hall that are going to get the kind of attention as the stuff downstairs. But there are future products that are going to come out of meetings inside of this room, and probably future companies as well that are a big part of that citizens defense industry. Oh yeah, I'm going to talk about the citizens defense industry more in future T.REX Lab videos as well. So keep an eye out for those. And now, after miles of walking, constant conversations, and even more walking, SHOT Show is over. The team looks out over the cyberpunk dystopia that is Vegas as we consider all that we have accomplished. Now it is time to plan our getaway and begin the long journey home to Tennessee. It has been a good week, but will we miss Vegas and the seventh wonder of the world, this Dorito billboard? Well, not really. Speaking of pyramids and ancient history, it was 6 years ago that we published our first SHOT Show videos to YouTube. It was much more conventional coverage than this has been over on T.REX Labs. But those videos may still hold up because some of those products are still actually, in development. But this year we also have over on the T.REX Armory channel, really good recap from Brandon. I wouldn't exactly call it conventional, but that just makes it more interesting. And then on the podcast, T.REX Talk, we have a deeper conversation about the trends that we have seen at SHOT Show over the last few or several years. And if you didn't know that we had a podcast, you've got about 200 episodes to catch up on.